equipment matters, but start with what you have. I told you I started with, I started with a Canon 60D. I actually started with a 40D. That was my first camera, but I didn't buy that one. Someone borrowed me the camera. This is dead. It was a camera I got from a friend just to use for the training. And eventually, thank you, I got a 60D. When I got a 60D, I was so angry with myself. I think I got the 60D back then, maybe like 400K or thereabouts, like 400K, with a kit lens of, I think is 24 to 105. Do you understand? 24 to 105 back then. Is it 18 to 105? 18 to 105. Yes, back then, 60D. And I was so angry. You know why? I was angry because I wanted the 7D. 60D was a crop frame camera. 7D was a full frame camera. I wanted, yeah? It is a crop. But I think back then, no, it wasn't 5D Mark II. Back then, I just wanted the 7D because there was the hype around the 7D back then. There was just this hype around 7D. But I think 7D was maybe like 450 or at that point. So I couldn't afford a brand new 7D. So I got the 60D. And I was angry because maybe 50K difference and I couldn't afford it. Anyways, I started and I created stunning images with the 60D. It is still alive because I sold it. And the person I sold it to is still using it after 12 years. Yeah, still using it. Then after the 60D, I bought a 6D. I bought the 6D. 6D was sweet. Jesus Christ. I was doing wonders with the 6D. It was amazing. It was one of my best cameras back then. I used to do documentary. It was with the 60 that I started enjoying documentary. I used to go, you can imagine me going home from, I'm going home and rain starts falling, like rain started falling yesterday. And instead of me to be running, I'm bringing out my camera to document people in the rain in Yaba market. You know, I used to do all this. It was daring. Like I was enjoying what I was doing. Then I'll get home, put it on my computer. I did computer science, so I had a website since the beginning of my photography career. I had a website, I had a blog. We used to blog back then. So new item on the blog, we'll post it on Facebook. So you can link from Facebook to the blog, you go and read it. So I used to do all that. Then after the 6D, I bought the 5D Mark III. I enjoyed it. After the 5D Mark III, I bought the 1DX Mark II. I enjoyed it. After the 1DX, I bought the US R. That was when the R came. Then after the R, I bought the R5, then R6 Mark II, R6, everything. So it wasn't as if I waited till I got what I wanted before I started creating. I used what I wanted, what I had available. I used what I had available. Oh, should I tell this story? Yeah. The 1DX Mark II used to be my screensaver for a long time. Like I open my computer, I'm like, I'm going to buy this camera one day. I'm going to get this camera. Now the camera is sitting in the cupboard, right? Because of the weight. That's why I'm not using it. And obviously it's not mirrorless. Yeah. It was, oh yes. I traveled to Zanzibar and dropped the camera in water. 1DX Mark II. So when I wanted to repair it, they said I should bring 2 million to repair it. So I'm like, how far now? I'd rather buy another one than use. So I bought another 1DX Mark II. But before I bought another one, I felt like I couldn't create again because my equipment I fell into a depression. Now let's just cut long story short. I still had my 5D Mark III, but I was depressed. Like, a whole 1DX Mark II fell into water. You can't repair it again. Where do I start from? I started rejecting jobs. Like, nah, I'm not doing. Sorry, I'm not available. And then eventually, I was just like, what was wrong with you now? Shebi, is this guy that you used to make money that you used to buy this guy now? Why not use it to make another money again? And that was how I snapped out of my depression. I started creating with the 5D Mark III again, and I'm like, what was wrong with me now? Shebi, this is me creating. What I'm rejecting is what somebody is praying to have. Why am I doing this to myself? But eventually, when the EOSR came out, that was in 2018 or 2018. When the EOSR came out, the first shoot I did with it, I almost cried. I was like, this is what I've been talking about. This is what. Obviously, I wasn't used to it also because the shutter wasn't as powerful as the shutter in the 1DX Mark II. You couldn't hear that feedback, like, baga. Like, you wanted it now, you wanted power. The USR was just like, what's this now? But I got used to it eventually. So use what you have. Use what you have. It's important. Just make the best, squeeze the best out of what. If it's one light that you have, use that one light as if you have plenty. I told you I used to do beauty dish. I used to construct beauty dish. Forget it. I'll construct beauty dish myself. All this ring light that makeup artists are carrying around, my ring light was dope. Why? Because it's tungsten bulb I use. I cut plywood around, put hole inside it, put lamp holder around it, and put like 12, 13 bulb, 14 bulbs around it. If I shoot you with that, I shot a very, I'll look for the picture. I shot a production in IMAX with that setup. They thought I was mad. I said, no, this is what I want to use to shoot this. I want to see the bulbs in the eyes. I want to see the lights, the catch lights. I want to see that it's bulb in the eyes. I shot it with it. And it was good for me. It was perfect. I even put a dimmer switch on the, what's it called, so that I could dim the bulbs, I could increase the. I used to do all that before. I used I didn't wait till I got dollars to go and import it. I made it happen. We used Yongnuo for the longest time. Me, Yongnuo, and brackets. Speedlight brackets with Yongnuo flash. Buy like 4 of it. Do mad ass production. When you see the picture, you think it's Pro Photo they used. Right? That was then. I used what I had to achieve what I wanted to achieve until I was able to afford what I actually wanted. She was selling fabrics. How do I show that the fabric can catch light when it moves? The fabric had frills. I wanted to show the movement, right? You see how I showed the movement. Just show the iridescence of the fabric itself. You can see it's low-key. The lights are not so bright. It's low-key photography. Everything is so mellow, but you can see the details in the fabric itself.